Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Echo Stories. Have you ever wondered why some people are always happy and successful? Today, we're going to share a simple secret that can change your life. It's the story of how you can use the power of your mind to create the life you want. Episode 1: Your Thoughts Make You. Mary Smith sat by her window, staring at the gray clouds above. School had been difficult that week, and she felt small, unsure, and invisible. Her classmates whispered and laughed, and she thought, maybe they are right. Maybe I'm not good enough. Her grandmother had always said, Mary, your mind is like a garden. You plant the seeds of your thoughts. If you plant good seeds, beautiful flowers grow. If you plant weeds, your garden will fill with them. Mary had never understood what that meant, not until now. That evening, Mary closed her eyes and tried to remember her grandmother's words. She whispered softly, I can try, I can learn, I can grow. These were the first seeds of hope she had planted in her mind. The next day, Mary decided to take small steps. She raised her hand in class, even though her voice shook. She smiled at a classmate she had never spoken to before. Each positive thought, each small action, felt like watering the seeds in her mind. Slowly, the garden inside her began to bloom. Mary noticed a strange thing. The more she focused on positive thoughts, the more strength she felt inside. She began helping others, sharing her books, and even answering questions in class confidently. The weeds of fear and doubt did not vanish immediately, but they began to shrink. Her good thoughts were stronger and her garden was growing. She realized that every action she had taken, every choice she made, began with a thought. A kind thought became a kind action. A brave thought became a brave step. Mary began to see a simple truth. Her thoughts were shaping who she was becoming. From that day, Mary made a quiet promise to herself. I will guard my thoughts. I will plant seeds of hope, courage, and kindness. I will grow my garden every day. Episode 2: Your Life Follows Your Thoughts. After discovering the power of her thoughts, Mary Smith felt a spark of hope. But life, she soon realized, was not just about small school victories. One afternoon, Mary's mother came home with difficult news. The family budget was tight, and Mary would have to help more at home while keeping up with school. At first, Mary felt overwhelmed. How can I do all this, she thought. I'll never manage. The old seeds of doubt whispered loudly in her mind. But she remembered the garden inside her, the promise she made to plant positive seeds. She paused, took a deep breath, and decided to change her thoughts. I can handle this. I will do my best. Every step I take matters, she said to herself. Mary started organizing her day. She woke up earlier to help her mother prepare breakfast, then focused on her schoolwork with full attention. Instead of thinking about how hard things were, she looked for small ways to make life easier. She wrote a list of tasks, asked for help when needed, and celebrated even tiny successes. Something amazing happened. The more she thought positively, the more solutions she noticed. When chores felt overwhelming, she discovered shortcuts. When schoolwork seemed impossible, she remembered a tip from a teacher or a friend. Her thoughts were shaping her actions, and her actions were shaping her life. One evening, Mary sat with her grandmother and shared how busy life had been. Grandmother, she said, I thought I would fail, but when I focused on what I can do, things started falling into place. I feel stronger. Her grandmother smiled. Mary, life will always give you challenges, but remember, your mind decides how you see those challenges. Positive thoughts guide positive actions. Negative thoughts guide struggles. You are learning the greatest lesson. Your life follows your thoughts. From that day, Mary approached life differently. She began noticing that circumstances, good or bad, were often the reflection of her thinking. When she focused on solutions, opportunities appeared. When she focused on problems, life seemed heavier and harder. She realized that her thoughts were no longer just seeds in a garden. They were the compass guiding her path through every challenge. Mary smiled as she prepared for bed. She knew tomorrow would bring new challenges, new obstacles. But she also knew that by choosing her thoughts carefully, she could shape how her life unfolded. Life was not just luck. Life followed the patterns of her mind. And now she had learned how to plant the seeds that would grow into a future she could shape. Episode 3: Healthy Mind, Healthy Body. After weeks of practicing positive thinking and organizing her life, Mary noticed something unexpected. She didn't just feel more confident in her actions, her body felt different too. She had more energy in the mornings, fewer headaches, and even slept more peacefully at night. Mary's grandmother noticed it too. "Mary," she said one evening, "your mind is brighter. You carry less worry, and your body reflects that." A calm, happy mind makes a healthy body. Mary realized it was true. She remembered mornings when she had woken up worried or frustrated. Her stomach hurt, her shoulders were tense, and she felt tired before the day even started. But now, when she started the day with positive thoughts, planning, focusing, and planting good seeds in her mind, her body felt light, strong, and ready. One day, her neighbor, Mrs. Lee, invited Mary to help in her garden. Mary agreed happily. While planting flowers and pulling weeds, Mary reflected on how similar gardening was to life. Just as plants thrive with sunlight, water, and care, her body thrived when her mind was calm, peaceful, and focused. Fear, worry, and anger were like toxins, weakening her body and draining her energy. Mary began a small daily routine. She woke up early, stretched, and took a few quiet minutes to think positively. She reminded herself of her strengths, her goals, and the good she could do each day. Her mind was calm, and her body followed. She felt stronger, healthier, and more capable than ever before. Even at school and home, Mary noticed changes. When she faced problems, her stomach no longer twisted in anxiety. Her hands weren't shaky when presenting work or helping her mother. Her energy lasted longer, and she could focus on tasks without feeling exhausted. Positive thoughts weren't just guiding her actions, they were healing her body. One evening, while helping her mother cook dinner, Mary said, "I never thought that thinking differently could make me feel this strong. I feel healthier, calmer, happier." Her mother smiled. "It's true, Mary. A bright mind creates a bright body, and a dark mind, well, that only brings sickness and weakness. You are learning to care for both yourself and your thoughts at the same time." From that day on, Mary made it a habit to check her thoughts and her body. She drank more water, stretched, and moved around. But most importantly, she fed her mind with positivity, calmness, and hope. She discovered that her thoughts and her body were connected, working together to shape her life. Mary realized an important truth: success, happiness, and health do not come from luck or chance. They come from the harmony between a calm, healthy mind and a strong, energized body. The more she nurtured one, the more the other flourished. By the end of the week, Mary felt like a new person. She could face challenges without fear, work long hours without fatigue, and smile genuinely even when small problems arose. She understood that thoughts are powerful not only in shaping life and opportunities, but in shaping the body that carries her through life. As Mary lay in bed that night, she whispered to herself, "I will take care of my mind. I will take care of my body." They work together, and together they can carry me anywhere I choose to go. And with that, she drifted into a calm, peaceful sleep, ready for the adventures and lessons that tomorrow would bring. Episode 4: The Power of Purpose. Mary had been feeling stronger, healthier, and more confident than ever before. Her mind was calm, her body was energized, and her thoughts were guiding her actions. But one quiet evening, as she sat by her window watching the sunset, a new question came to her mind. What am I working for? What is my purpose? She realized that all the lessons she had learned so far, positive thinking, shaping her life, taking care of her body, had made her life better, but she didn't yet have a clear goal. Without a purpose, life felt like a river without a direction, flowing aimlessly. Her grandmother noticed the thoughtful look on Mary's face and said, "Mary, a life without purpose is like a ship without a captain. The wind blows it anywhere, and it never reaches the shore it was meant to reach. But when you have a clear purpose, your thoughts become focused and strong. They guide every step you take." Mary thought about what truly mattered to her. She remembered how she felt when she helped her mother at home, when she tutored younger kids in her neighborhood, and when she encouraged friends who were struggling. Helping others gave her joy. Making a positive difference felt meaningful. That night, Mary decided to set a clear purpose for herself. "I will use my knowledge, my energy, and my thoughts to help others learn and grow." She felt a sense of direction she had never felt before. Suddenly, the challenges that once seemed overwhelming now became opportunities to live her purpose. The next day, Mary created a small plan. She would start tutoring younger students in the evenings, helping them with homework and reading. She would also spend time learning new skills herself so she could be even more helpful. Each task she did was now connected to a larger goal, a purpose that made every action feel meaningful. As days passed, Mary noticed something remarkable. With her purpose guiding her, her thoughts became sharper and more focused. She didn't waste energy on fear or doubt. She knew exactly why she was doing what she was doing. Even small setbacks didn't discourage her because she could see the bigger picture. Her friend Tet noticed the change too. "Mary," he said one afternoon, "you seem different. You have more energy, and you always know what to do." "How do you do it?" Mary smiled. "I finally understand my purpose." When you know what you are working for, every thought, every action, and every challenge makes sense. Life becomes clearer, and you feel stronger. That evening, Mary reflected on her journey. From planting good thoughts to shaping her life, taking care of her body, and now finding her purpose, she realized how connected everything was. Purpose gave her mind strength, her actions clarity, and her heart courage. She whispered softly to herself, "With a clear purpose, I can face anything. My thoughts are strong, my actions are guided, and my life has direction. I am no longer drifting. I am steering my own ship." Mary had discovered one of life's greatest secrets. Great success always begins with a clear and steady purpose. And with her purpose now guiding her, she felt ready for the next step, turning her focused thoughts into real achievements. Episode 5: Thoughts Create Success. With her mind healthy, her body strong, and her purpose clear, Mary Smith felt ready to take on bigger challenges. She knew that having a purpose was not enough. She had to act on it, and she had learned that every action began with a thought. One morning, Mary received an announcement from her school, a citywide academic competition for students who excelled not only in knowledge, but in creativity and problem solving. Many students were excited, but others whispered that it was too difficult. Some even said, "Mary, it's impossible. You won't win." Mary paused for a moment and smiled. She remembered all the lessons she had learned. She knew that achievement begins with thought. Success was not luck. It was courage, confidence, faith, and hard work. She thought, "I can do this. I have prepared, and I will give my best." Mary created a plan. Every day she dedicated time to study, review, and practice. She didn't just memorize facts. She thought creatively, explored new ways to solve problems, and sought help when needed. Every positive thought fueled her energy, and every doubt she replaced with belief in her abilities. Some days were tough. She struggled with difficult questions and complex tasks. Her friends sometimes laughed at her perseverance, saying it was too much effort. But Mary remembered a simple truth. Negative thinking leads to failure. Positive thinking leads to action and growth. The day of the competition arrived. Mary walked into the hall with calmness and focus. She felt a flutter in her stomach, but she turned it into energy. Every question she faced, every task she completed, reflected the thoughts she had nurtured for weeks. Courage, confidence, and careful preparation guided her actions. When the results were announced, Mary's heart raced. She had won first place. Her success was not a gift of luck. It was the result of strong, positive thinking combined with hard work. She smiled knowing that every thought she had planted, every effort she had made, had led her to this moment. Mary's grandmother hugged her proudly. "Mary, do you see now? Success is born from thought. You had the courage to believe in yourself and the discipline to act on it. That is how achievements are made," Mary reflected on her journey. From planting seeds of positivity in her mind to facing life's challenges, caring for her body, finding her purpose, and now achieving success, she realized that her life had transformed because she had learned to guide her thoughts. That evening, Mary shared her story with Ichtetet and a few friends who had supported her. "It's not about being the smartest," she said. "It's about thinking positively, believing in yourself, and working hard. Every success begins in your mind before it appears in the world." Mary felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had discovered the power that everyone has inside. Thoughts create success. And with this power, she knew she could face any challenge, big or small, that life might bring. As she went to sleep that night, she whispered to herself, "My thoughts shape my life. My actions turn them into success. I am ready for the future I dream of." Episode 6: Dreams Build the Future. After winning the citywide competition, Mary Smith felt proud and confident, but she also realized that success was just one step in a much larger journey. One quiet evening, she sat under a tree in her backyard, looking at the stars and thought, "What next? What can I do that truly matters?" Mary remembered her purpose, helping others learn and grow, and realized that she wanted more than just small achievements. She wanted to make a difference, not only for herself, but for the world around her. She wanted to dream big. Her grandmother came to sit beside her. "Mary," she said gently, "every great achievement begins with a dream. A dream gives direction, energy, and hope. When your dream is noble and good, it can change not only your life, but also the lives of others." Mary closed her eyes and imagined her dream. She saw herself creating a learning center for children in her neighborhood, where anyone could come to study, read, and discover new ideas. She imagined helping those who struggled as she once had, giving them the confidence and knowledge to succeed. Her heart filled with excitement and determination. The next day, Mary started taking small steps toward her dream. She talked to her parents about her idea, shared it with friends, and began organizing simple study sessions for the younger children in her neighborhood. Each day, she added a little more structure, a little more planning. Every thought she nurtured about her dream became energy she could act on. Some days were difficult. Resources were limited. Some children were shy or uninterested. And Mary herself sometimes doubted if she could make a real difference. But she remembered a truth she had learned long ago. Dreamers are the builders of tomorrow. Every big achievement starts with belief and consistent effort. As weeks passed, Mary noticed changes. The children she tutored began to improve, showing curiosity and confidence. Parents started noticing her dedication and offered help. Her dream, once just a vision in her mind, was slowly taking shape in reality. One evening, Mary reflected on the journey she had taken. From planting positive thoughts to shaping her life, caring for her body, finding her purpose, and achieving success, she now realized that dreams were the next stage of her growth. Dreams gave her energy, direction, and a vision of the future she could build. Mary whispered to herself, "My dream guides me. Every small step I take today creates the future I imagine tomorrow. If I believe, act, and persevere, I can build something meaningful, not only for me, but for others too." She understood that a dream was not just a wish. It was a plan powered by thought, purpose, and action. And she knew that the future she dreamed of was already beginning, one step at a time, guided by the seeds she planted in her mind. As Mary lay down to sleep, she felt a sense of hope and excitement unlike anything before. Her journey was far from over, but with her mind focused, her purpose clear, and her dream alive, she knew she was ready to face anything the future held. Episode 7: The Strength of Calmness. Mary Smith had come a long way. She had learned to plant positive thoughts, shape her life, care for her body, discover her purpose, achieve success, and pursue her dreams. But one quiet afternoon, as she sat alone in her backyard, she realized that something was still missing. Even with all her achievements, she sometimes felt restless. Her mind raced with ideas, worries, and plans. She wondered, how can I stay strong, happy, and peaceful, no matter what challenges come next? Her grandmother joined her and smiled knowingly. "Mary, the highest stage of wisdom is calmness. A calm mind is strong, steady, and full of peace. People who are serene are not shaken by problems. They bring light, hope, and love to others." Mary listened carefully and decided to explore this new lesson. She started practicing calmness every day. When she felt anxious or overwhelmed, she would take deep breaths, close her eyes, and focus on the present moment. She reminded herself that she could control her thoughts, even when circumstances were difficult. One day, a sudden problem arose at the learning session she had started for the children. A storm damaged the small study area, and many materials were ruined. Some of the children were scared and disappointed. Mary felt a moment of panic, but she remembered the strength of calmness. She took a deep breath and thought, I can handle this. I will find a way to fix it. Instead of rushing or worrying, Mary calmly assessed the situation. She organized the children to help clean up, found temporary spaces for the lessons, and reached out to neighbors for materials. Her calm mind inspired confidence in everyone around her. Problems that might have seemed overwhelming before became manageable. Mary realized that calmness was not just the absence of stress, it was a powerful strength. A calm mind allowed her to make better decisions, act with clarity, and maintain her energy. It amplified everything she had learned: her positive thoughts, her health, her purpose, her success, and her dreams. Over time, Mary noticed another change. Calmness made her happier. She could enjoy simple moments, watching the sunset, reading with the children, or talking with her grandmother, without feeling anxious about what might happen next. Her joy was steady, not dependent on achievements or outcomes. One evening, as Mary sat under the stars reflecting on her journey, she whispered softly, "Calmness is true power. A peaceful mind can face anything. My thoughts, my purpose, my actions, and my dreams. All of them are stronger when I am calm." Her grandmother gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "Mary, you have grown into a remarkable young woman. Remember, calmness is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the power that lets you carry your dreams, guide your life, and inspire others without being shaken." Mary smiled. She understood now that the lessons she had learned were connected like threads in a tapestry. Positive thoughts led to a better life. Health and energy followed. Purpose guided her actions. Success rewarded her effort. Dreams pointed to the future. And calmness held everything together, giving her strength, clarity, and peace. As Mary drifted to sleep that night, she felt complete, not because she had reached the end, but because she had learned to live with strength, hope, purpose, and calmness. Her journey was ongoing, but she knew that with the wisdom she had gained, she could face any challenge, build any dream, and live a life full of meaning and joy. Mary's story had become a living example of a simple truth. Calmness is the highest strength, and a peaceful mind creates a powerful, beautiful life. What do you think about that? We bring you simple yet powerful stories to help you improve your English and learn valuable life lessons. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.